Good morning. Welcome again to Brighter Morning with Bo. I am Bo Tiwari, and this is MCTV that you are looking at, multicultural TV in Trinidad and Tobago and the region. Our first guest is Mr. Lalla, and let us welcome Mr. Lalla and have a discussion with him. Good morning. How are you? How are you, Larry?
Good morning, Bo. Are you hearing me clearly?
I'm hearing you clearly, yes. Is your internet strong there? We need that in order to get... Yes, I'm hearing you
I
now.
believe,
Clear. Yeah.
I believe so.
All right. Your Wi-Fi, I mean.
Yeah, I believe it
Okay.
is.
So, looking at this thing, I want to start with what is immediate and before us. We have a situation in which 5 nominees have been made by Her Excellency the President to fulfill the role of commissioners in the Police Service Commission, which is regarded as an independent body in Trinidad and Tobago. We've had endless controversies surrounding this, and we will go into that piece by piece. And these things are coming to Parliament, and as is normally the case, there will be a debate. Already the opposition has signaled that they are uncomfortable with 3 of the 5 nominees. And therefore, we are going to have a debate that is likely to focus on what I would call personalities, their background, why they might be unfit, why they might not be acceptable to the opposition, etc. Do you think that this controversy over the Police Service Commission, its role, its functions, its operations, the crisis that we have had over the last several weeks, do you think that this thing is going to come to an end after the debate on Wednesday? This debate is due on Wednesday.
Well, I think it's important in the country's interest for it to come to an end. But whether or not it comes to an end depends upon how the outstanding issues are handled by the commissioners once their appointments are confirmed. As you have rightly indicated, the Police Service Commission, like all our service commissions, are intended and are expected under the Constitution to operate as independent institutions. However, because of what has happened in relation to the Commission in recent past, there are serious questions outstanding as to whether it operated as an independent institution. And until those issues are properly addressed by the incoming Commission, then questions will continue to linger. I have to, in the interest of full disclosure, Bo, indicate that I still represent the former Commissioner Gary Griffith in a number of issues in relation to this matter. So I have to put that on the table, in the interest of full disclosure.
Okay. Does that compromise you in dealing with these matters surrounding the reappointment of a Police Service Commission in any way, though?
Well, I don't think so. I always try in making my comments to be fair. When I comment publicly, I try to operate in the public's interest and look at all issues on both sides. This morning on your program, I'm not here to advocate any particular position, but to highlight in the public's interest issues that are outstanding.
Okay, so let's get into this thing. The first thing is the fact that you have 5 nominees. The president would have been required under the Constitution to consult with the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition.
Yeah.
Now, consultation does not mean consent by either party, nor does it mean agreement by the three parties, that is to say, Her Excellency, the President, the Honorable Prime Minister, and the Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Yeah.
So she would have done her consultation, which means to simply indicate her choice. She may have had responses or she may have not. And these matters are now before the Parliament for full debate. The opposition has since indicated, they had a press conference yesterday, and Wade Mark, who heads the Senate for the opposition, indicated that they had serious problems with three of the nominees. What does that say about what is likely to happen in the debate on Wednesday? What is likely to be the tone of that debate? And when it's over, the government, if the government supports all five nominees, as I suspect they will get their nominees despite what the opposition says. What happens after that?
Well, I think that this process that is about to be embarked upon this week is very important. It's much like the confirmation hearings that we see in the United States, where persons whose names are being put forward for important offices are subject to scrutiny. I think because of what has happened in relation to the Police Service Commission and the last members of the commission, the resignations that took place, it's important that there be scrutiny of the members who have been nominated by Her Excellency. And therefore, I think, the opposition has a duty to the country to present any information that they have that may affect the credibility of the appointments. So I think this process is necessary. Of course, it is important that persons' names not be scandalized, and that, if there is really information out there which affects the credibility and the validity of their appointments, it's important that that information be brought to the forefront in a way that is befitting the intended construct of our service commissions. But, I think, Bo, the elephant in the room is going to be the outstanding questions in relation to what took place on August 11th. Because here we are saying that the
October.
Service, August 11th.
August 11th? Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
August 11th. We are saying that the Police Service Commission is supposed to be independent, but there is in the public domain a strong inference that something took place at President's House on August 11th or 12th when the merit list was first for the appointment of a substantive commissioner was delivered to Her Excellency. The President has refused to answer questions as to the allegation that the chairman of the Police Service Commission was met at President's House by a high-level government official. If that meeting took place, Bo, it was highly improper, bearing in mind what you have just highlighted, the manner in which the Police Service Commission is appointed. It's appointed by Her Excellency choosing the members after consulting both the government, the Prime Minister, and the Leader of the Opposition. Therefore, if any meeting what took place at President's House, then respectfully I believe that the President should have ensured that any issue being raised was ventilated, having involvement from both the government and the opposition, and having a meeting at President's House with the chairman of the Police Service Commission and a high-level government official leads to the inference that there was interference and there was an intention by someone to scuttle that last merit list. So I think that if we are to go forward and if we are to have public confidence in the work and workings of the Police Service Commission, that issue needs to be addressed and put to bed. It was not put to bed by the president's statement, which he issued in the newspapers a few weeks ago. And I expect that during the debate, that issue is going to be highlighted. And in my view, that issue of August was a defining moment. It was a defining moment. August 11th was a defining moment in this presidency. And the manner in which the new Police Service Commission deals with those issues could very well be a defining moment in their holding of office as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to follow up on your thought there and your position, which is that, I mean, that raises the question of whether, in fact, Parliament, after debate, confirms these 5 people and we have a new commission, whether that is going to settle the matter and leave the commission free to go about its business. I get the impression that what you are saying is that the President, Her Excellency the President, has not spoken, what can I say, has not spoken openly and transparently
Absolutely.
on this matter, and it is required of her as a public official to clear the air on this matter. Does it matter whether she clears the air before the debate or after the debate, or whether she clears the air at all?
Well, I believe it matters whether she clears the air at all. Whether it occurs before the debate or after the debate, I don't think it's very important. I think it's important that the air be cleared if the public is to have confidence in the working of the Police Service Commission. Because it cannot be that a merit list is prepared. The inference is that the government or someone in the government had an interest in scuttling that merit list. The merit list is withdrawn, all the commissioners resign, you appoint a new commission, and then we all go our merry way down the road as though nothing happened.
Yes, exactly.
That just it cuts against the grain of everything that is proper. It cuts against the grain of transparency, and we are in the age of transparency. We have spent so much effort, not yet realized, but spent so much effort to have transparency in public procurement. We have the Freedom of Information legislation. We have very active judicial review litigation taking place before our courts daily. So we can't be doing all of that and then saying, in relation to the functioning of something as important as the Police Service Commission, that we're not going to have and we're not going to be entitled to transparency. So that issue has to be dealt with, whether it is dealt with by the president or dealt with by the commissioners when they go into office. They have the ability to deal with it because, it's not as though the Police Service Commission ended and we have a totally new organization. The organization is still there. We just have new persons steering the ship, so to speak. And, there would be records that would be relevant at the Police Service Commission, and we would expect the new commissioners, if they are interested in ensuring that their commission has public support, and has public confidence, that they, see the need to address this issue and address the issue with whatever records that lie within the records of the Police Service Commission.
No, I get the impression that you are suggesting that they used the merit list that was originally sent to Her Excellency the President, which was never sent to Parliament, which was taken back by the chairman of the then chairman of the PSC, rather than start the process anew. I want to understand you clearly. Is that what you're saying?
Well, so far there is nothing in the public domain to challenge or compromise the integrity of that merit list, which was prepared on which was submitted and withdrawn on August the 11th. Until such time that there is something which challenges the integrity of that list, then I believe that the list needs to go forward for a number of reasons. One, we cannot have it as a fait accompli bow that an independent service commission spends public monies, because monies would have been spent to prepare that merit list, uses its time, involves a number of applicants in a process. Those applicants would have committed time to be involved in the process and to subject themselves to scrutiny. And it cannot be that that work product is prepared and someone sets out to scuttle that list and it just goes out the window, and we move on to a new one. I mean, then it becomes a fait accompli for whoever the wrongdoer was. And I say wrongdoer because as it is right now, there's no information and there's no basis for saying that what was done on August 11th by the withdrawal of that list was justified in any way.
Well, that is true, but I mean, has it been established that there was political interference in this matter, or has this simply emerged as an issue? I am asking you.
Yeah,
And
well, the
Go ahead.
inference, unless there is other information that I don't know about, or other information that comes forward, the inference is that there was political interference, because the statement
But it has not
coming
been
from
established as a fact, right?
right. So the statement coming from Roger Kewal Singh, if you would
Yes.
recall, in his communication with the then chairman, Bliss C. Prasad, is that she informed them she was met at President's house by a high-level government official. That information has not been negatived in any way, and certainly not negatived by the president's silence on the issue. So that is all we are left with right now. So there's no other competing inference, no information in the public domain which could lead to any other competing inference.
Okay,
And
and
that is what we have to deal with.
And there is nothing that has come out so far which indicates why that meeting took place or what was the context, right?
Absolutely. So that is why.
So the clarification is critical, and there are only three people who could clarify that from having been present at the occasion.
Yes.
That would be Her Excellency the President herself. Second would be the former chairman, Ms. Bliss C. Prasad herself. And the third person would be whoever that political figure was who happened to be present on that occasion. Is that correct?
I want to add one more thing into the mix, right? Because I hinted at it a short while ago. There might be records at the Police Service Commission that could shed some light on the issue. And if that is the case, then there's a potential fourth player in the mix, and that is the new commissioners when they are appointed.
Okay, so that is something
right.
potential.
Yeah, and you see, there's one point I want to make. A lot of the mischief that has taken place perhaps would not have occurred if there was communication or better communication by the last Police Service Commission with the public. Right? A lot of things took place, and there was not communication from the commission saying, well, this is the situation. So one would hope that the new commission, the new chair, again in the interest of transparency that we have alluded to a short while ago, would see the importance of having, frank communication with the national community. Of course, one appreciates the fact that the work that would be done by a Police Service Commission, there would be a lot of sensitive matters that cannot be gone into. But nevertheless, one would hope that they would appreciate the need for there to be transparency, for there to be full communication. And I keep going back to the point. There's a need for the public to have confidence in the Service Commission, because under the Constitution it was intended to be an independent body that rises above and does not get into the politics of the country.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question now, and you can reflect on it. We'll take a break because we've got a break for commercials now, and when we come back. But I'm going to ask you the question now so you can think about it, which is, what makes for an independent commission as is meant by the Constitution? All right, sure. I could elaborate on that now, but I will give you a chance to reflect on that. And when we come back, we'll talk about it. Okay?
Sure.
So we break now for some commercials. And this is Brighter Morning with Bo. I'm Bo Tiwari. We're talking to Mr. Larry Lalla, attorney at law, on the Police Service Commission, which 5 members have been appointed. A debate will take place on Wednesday. There has been a crisis evolving that led to this point. And when we come back, we'll continue the discussion trying to answer the question, what makes for an independent commission? This is Brighter Morning with Bo, and I am Bo Tiwari, MCTV Multicultural TV.
Welcome to Lifetime Solutions, where you can trust your roof to us. Our services include custom fabrication, steel framing, roofing installation, on-site roll forming, roofing maintenance and services. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Call 223-ROOF or 223-7663 for a quote today, or visit our website www.lifetimesolutionstt.com.
You did the right thing. So now we're giving you things. Republic Bank thanks you and wants to reward you for getting vaxxed. Win $5,000 in prizes every week, plus 1 of 2 cars in December. You took care of your health, and now we're taking care of you. $5,000 and a chance to win a car. See press and log on to republictt.com for details.
Your house is more than just a home. It's the new normal. It's your place of work, your kids' school, and even your gym. It's where you and your family spend most of your time. With over 43 years in the building service industry, let Magic Mist Services Limited take care of your home cleaning and maintenance needs. From ceiling to floor, interior and exterior, allowing you to focus on what matters most to you. Give us a call. Magic Mist Services Limited, your total facilities management solutions provider.
Mangalese Trading Company Limited. Specialist in PVC ceiling, gypsum ceiling, suspended ceilings, medallions, lights, metal framings, and SPCS flooring, known as vinyl plank. Now introducing Mangalese Foods, wholesale and retail, distributor of the family brand of food items. Our range of products include rice, sugar, chickpeas, split peas, and soybean oil. Mangalese Foods deliver exceptional products. We offer timely and efficient service. We are located at 9 Francis Lalla Road, Charlieville, Chaguanas. Contact us at 672-9889, 740-5569, or 336-4373.
Mangalese Trading Company Limited.
Welcome back to Brighter Morning with Bo. I'm Bo Tiwari. We're talking to Attorney at Law, Larry Lalla, this morning about the Police Service Commission. I was asking you the question, Larry, before we broke. What makes for an independent commission as independent is intended under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago? And you had a minute or so to reflect on it. How would you respond to that?
Well, first of all, I mean, let's understand why we say independent. As was pointed out in a very well-known Privy Council case, the case of Endell Thomas and the AG. The whole purpose behind the service commissions is to provide a buffer between the politicians and the public servants and the persons who hold public offices. So that is the first thing. They must understand that their role is to provide a buffer and to protect the organizations and the persons who populate those various arms of the public service from political interference, regardless of who the government is. And once they understand that role, then the other elements are, I would say, the persons, the behavior, and the communication. Those three things. We have to ensure that the persons who are appointed to these commissions, public service, the various service commissions, are persons who are seen to have a reputation, or perhaps no reputation at all, which might be a good thing, of no reputation of being involved in the politics and aligned to any political party, or at least no recent reputation, right? And, I could give the example, Bo, of Gillian Lucky, who was a member of parliament, a very active member of the UNC, was a member of parliament for the UNC, and then she became a High Court judge some time after, after a cooling off period of her involvement in the politics, and she has been doing a very, very good job. So I think it's important that, even though we have someone who has been involved in the politics at some point in time, there has been a cooling off period, and the person is seen to be someone who can be level-headed, who can be fair, and who could operate in the country's interest. The other issue is behavior. Bo, some years ago, maybe about 13, 14 years ago, when I was involved in a criminal matter for one co-accused, representing the other co-accused was Mr. Carl Hudson Phillips, the late Carl Hudson Phillips QC. And an issue arose, I think it was the issue involving the Chief Justice at the time. And he made a very important statement. He said, we cannot write into our Constitution the issue of good behavior, right? Because then the Constitution would be this big, right? You cannot write everything into a Constitution. You have to rely upon the persons who are appointed to understand what behavior is required
of them, yes.
Absolutely. And we have to rely upon them to conduct themselves appropriately. Assuming that the information is correct, that there was that meeting at President's House on August the 11th between the then chairman of the Police Service Commission, the president, and a high-level government official. None of those three holders of public offices would have been behaving properly. And I make no apologies for saying that. If that took place, that would have been improper behavior by all three of them, Her Excellency included. So we have to rely upon the persons who are appointed to understand what good behavior is and what they should do and what they should not do in order to maintain public confidence in their office. And the next issue, sorry?
Go ahead. We're coming to the end, Larry. We've got to close. Yeah.
Sure. The next issue is communication. There has to be an open line of communication with the public, because at the end of the day, you could be as independent as you want, but unless the public has confidence in you, then you're fulfilling the mandate of your office, and that requires communication. So those are the three things, Bo, that I think are important.
Well, I think the last point that you made is very important, which is that independence is as public confidence determines that you are independent, and that depends on a number of other things. I want to thank you very much for being with us. I get the feeling that your final position on all of this is that, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that appointment or no appointment of the new commissioners, the critical thing is really to clear the air on the controversies and suspicion that surrounds the crisis which emerged with the last Police Service Commission. And unless that is done, the matter will not have been really settled. I want to thank you very much, Larry, for being with us this morning. We may call you another time to continue this discussion, possibly after the debate is over and the commission is appointed. And I want to thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me on Brighter Morning with Bo on MCTV. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Have a good day to you and to you.
All right, then. This is Brighter Morning with Bo. We break now for the news, 7 o'clock, with Andrew Chan. And this is MCTV, Multicultural TV. I am Bo Tiwari. We'll see you after the news.